Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Xylox experiences great misery and existential dread whilst trying to program in JavaScript. Thank you all for coming. Flux, hello, and welcome, and thank you for coming out. Just before we get started, I have a new mic. I'm not using this one. As you can see, this one's not really doing anything. So there should be less movement noise from my headphones. I have a desk mic now, so if the sounds level sounds off or anything like that, just let me know. I will do my best to adjust that as we go. All right, so I'm not sure exactly how much hackmud I'm going to end up having the energy to do here, but I would like to at least take another swing at the encryption stuff since Saturday, because Saturday was miserable. My voice does occasionally dip out a little bit. Okay, so I can, let me fix that here if I can. Yeah, so I haven't had much time to test this out. So let me put the mids up a little bit, maybe. Put the mids up a bit. Let me know if you find that that's any better or worse, Flex. All right. So where we left off was with some horrible SHA encryption stuff. I had updated some of my banking scripts here, so I had those open. So, man, where did we leave off? So we had kind of figured out that some of the secret script entries may be a JPEG or may look like a JPEG. And then from that, we should have been able to kind of do a reverse key almost and determine like what the variation is on the key. Because it seems like there's a key that's like a plain text key that you get from the secret script, but then there's also variations on that key. So it seems to be that you never quite use the key exactly. It's almost like it's a basis. So that's the base key, and then you have to find out which variation you have to do on that base key in order to decrypt. So I'm not really too sure where to go. I haven't done a whole lot since then on my own. I mostly just haven't had time to do it on my own. The one thing I did though was clean up the Vignere stuff a little bit, and I think that's all. Oh no! I also touched up my tier 3 scraping script to actually go through and parse out the secret script, so it'll dump out all of the encrypted strings currently for that user in their calendar, and then it'll also dump out the secret script for that user. From that point on is manual, and that's because I'm not actually sure what the variations are for the secret script and what submenu item might include the password, and you could easily end up destroying upgrades if you're not careful. So maybe it's best if we, so I'll show what I had before. So what I had was, I think I did 2 not very similar JPEGs and converted them to base 64. And I ended up with this portion here seemed identical up to this point. And I'm not sure how much farther past there prefix or anything like that. That's as far as I got. So using that, if I go backwards, this is what I get from part of this key anyway. So the key is NUVBBDI, but what I get is NVBIUBD, which appears to be every other letter in the key, and then it rotates back and takes the second one, and then fourth, and then sixth. So the key appears to be, what did I write it down here? Right. So the original key repeated would have been this. The derived key is like every other one. So I had modified my Vignere to do key, the key index plus equals 2 instead and roll over, but that still gives me nonsense. So I'm not sure if I was doing something wrong or what, but I mean, like, it's obviously this doing the JPEG backward, like doing the rotation in reverse to get like the key, I don't know what to call it, maybe the key modifier pattern or whatever. That does seem to work, because otherwise that's pretty weird coincidence. So I'm not sure if you're meant to be able to fully decode these JPEGs into an actual image or not, or if maybe this is an image, and so base 64 unshifting it is actually not going to give me what I want anyway. Anyway, I don't know. I guess what I could try doing is taking the output from that, and like if I do the image data, yeah, because like I applied that key. So this is the image, right? And I'm wondering if I can just plug this in and actually get a picture online. I don't see any equal signs in here, so this may be legitimate base 64 string. And the reason why it looks like garbage when I do the base 64 decoding myself is because it's an image, it's not plain text. So I could try, I can try flushing this and seeing if this turns into a real image. I don't know why I can't like refresh a file that's already open in VS Code. So let me go find this file, shell.txt. I think this is it. So if I grab this and we go and open this up, I don't know, base. Oh yeah, I guess we could do this, except I want decode base 64 to image. Browser cannot display the file as image. Application octet stream. The MIME of the file was detected as application octet stream. I don't know. I don't really know how to interpret that. That could mean that I'm wrong. Okay, maybe we should try again with a fresher set of data and see if we get any different results here. So, we have to kind of start over again here from the beginning and scrape something. We'll do context internal, I suppose. Target will be context internal. We'll do no continuation token. And we'll auto this, I guess. Flux, you were trying to find patterns in which of the secret script entries trigger a location call. So far, all the trap samples you found are some variation of password hint, password reminder, probably more you haven't found. But you found samples that were password hint true or password hint real that were in fact not traps, so we can't just avoid like PWD or hint or password or anything like that. Yeah. And I'm wondering how. So I'm wondering if once we've figured out Sean encryption, right? Once we've figured out how to decrypt it, what all the patterns are, or whatever the secret is, if we really need that secret script anymore for anything other than the key, the raw key or base key, and we don't need the other entries. So as far as like automating for finding a pattern while scraping, the pattern that might be more valuable is the one that always contains the key and then just ignoring the other ones. And maybe it's just better to rely on our own eyes to find those while we're still trying to figure out what the math is behind it. Because that part's a little dangerous. And it's like, I could go in and do like what I was thinking of doing was putting something in my utility script so that I can more easily transfer like vault upgrades. So like send them all away to another user and then retrieve them all and reload them when I'm done. But I'm not sure if that's going to be valuable at this point. It might be valuable at some point while doing actual tier 3 breaching. So I'm not sure. You were checking that too. The entries include the key always have the word key in them. Private key, my key, key file. Yeah, so as long as it's the only entry that has the word key in it, then I think that would be a very safe pattern. You have never found a trap with the word key. Have you ever found a non-key entry though with the word key? Is it all? There's always just one item that has the word key in it and it always has the key in it? Is that what you found? If so, that'd be pretty good. And I might actually be able to just like put that one more step into my scraping to go through and then spit out the key as well. I think that would be pretty good. You found non-plain text entries with key. You think you have, but you weren't keeping track of them? I mean, there's usually some... Yeah, it's a solid maybe. Yeah. Good solid maybe. I mean, it might just be as simple as having like an array of all of the key file entries, right? And not regexing it with the word key. Just being like, these are the 10 variations or whatever. That might just be easier and safer if that's going to be the case. You never know, right? This pin is taking a while here. Need more data. Always need more data. So hungry for data. I think I know why everyone uses those boom arms for their microphone. So I have my gain turned like way up and it's just like this far from me. Like it's just like here on my desk. So I guess that's why people prefer to just talk right into it. But some of those boom arms are more expensive than the actual mic, which I thought was a little crazy. So I don't feel as defeated. You got a crazy cheap boom arm on Amazon for like $15. Oh, snap. Yeah, that would be helpful. Do you remember what the brand name was? I guess I could just check on Amazon myself. Man, I'm at 7,000 already. Yeah, like I'm not feeling as defeated about this, which is nice. So I think I probably worked too hard on Saturday. I just spent too much time. I spent too much time on it and I wore myself down. Because even though I still feel equally as stuck today, I don't feel as depressed about it. I left Saturday's stream feeling like a dumbass. It was so frustrating. Newer. Definitely not high quality, but it works. I mean, yeah, like it's two pieces of metal with a joint in it, right? Like, how high quality does it need to be? It's not like we're doing radio, right? And 8,000? I've never seen a pin take this long. I wonder if something's broken and it's actually not going to find the pin. Like it skipped over it somehow. Oh, could you imagine if I had like a 1-digit edge case miss somewhere? Why do all of my hackmud streams start by getting immediately derailed from what I was trying to do? So I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do today. Oh, okay, thank God. All right, yeah. Okay, there we go. So yeah, it spits out the user's script along with all of the keys. Or encrypted data or whatever. So I can just go and run this myself. Though what I'm going to do right now is I am going to add the pin to it so I can just copy and paste it. Because that's a little annoying. So what do? I'm going to have users backup script is going to be this. And then it's going to be that with the word pin. And then quotation marks g.pin. I think that'll do it. So let's up that. And we'll just run it one more time. Yeah. There we go. That's easier for copying and pasting. All right. Copy, paste. So I don't see the word. Oh, encryption key, right? It'd be encryption key. This is risky doing this without unloading my things. Okay. Oh, that key's got a slash in it. VG/VF/NR. That's going to make it hard to see patterns. But that's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, so we will sub that key in here. I'm also curious if the private key for the user is the key that's supposed to be used for these entries. Like, do we know that for sure? 'Cause I think that's something else that, like the key is correct, but the variation may not be the same, I guess, is the risk there. So I don't think we need the calendar entry, right? I think that's all I have to do. So that's the location data. Now for the image data, I have to, unfortunately, send my upgrades away. Or risk losing them. So we'll do I4, I guess. Yep, it's a good thing I did. We'll do I10. Oh my god. I11? Oh my god. I7? Wow, that was rough, man. Three out of 4 of those files were traps. Whoa. One of the key entries you found had a note next to the key that said, "I wish they wouldn't change the algorithm so much." It could just be flavor text, but maybe a hint. Yeah, I think that's right. And Smork was saying that earlier too, that it seems that there are about 8 variations. So there's a key scrambling algorithm, and then you take the result of that algorithm against the key and use that as the Vignere key to decode the location, and then you decode it from base 64. Was entry 4 a trap? Yeah. They were, oh no. Yeah. All 4, 10, and 11 were all traps. Yeah, so maybe your pattern is not, yeah, like 4 was segfault, 10 was segfault, 11 was segfault. In fact, 7 was the one that said password hint, and it was safe. So that's actually, that's not just not your pattern, that's the opposite of your pattern. You could have nuked an upgrade there by mistake. I'm going to use your capacitor here. Oh, no, hold on. I need this. Can I not? That's weird. How come I can't scroll up enough to actually see the call? There we go. It's weird. At least key is safe as far as we know. I mean, yeah, is it? Whoops. Yeah, it seems to be there. It's also safe. All right, so we will flux capacitor this. Flush that. Go and open it again. From hackmud, shell.txt. It's going to be this one right here. Okay, so this is our image data, suspected image data. All right, so we'll save that and we'll up that. Up to Sean. Oh, right. I gotta go get my upgrades back from my other user. 45, 46, 47 to Zyger. Oops, other way around. Zyger. User Zyger. Load 012. Up Deshaun. And Deshaun. Oh, something. What the hell is that? So, first of all, is that really what the key turns into? That can't be right. So, my only. This must not be an image. Then. Because none of these keys, none of these things rotated. Can the key? No. It's supposed to be a variation on the key. It's not supposed to be just some totally different key, right? Do we know? I'm going to assume from all the B's and slashes in here that this is not an image. So I have to... Fuck. So I'm going to have to run this again. And I'm going to look at some of the hidden entries here. So let's look at 0. No, 1. Okay, that's a big one. That again, that's got a lot of slashes in it though. /9j/4aa. This actually already looks like it's an image, but it's in plain text. It's not encrypted, so that's not going to help us, I don't think. 2. Too small to be an image. 5. That's probably too small to be an image. 6. Might be an image. 8 and 9. There is no 8. There is no 9. Is there like a 12 or 13? Do you think that we don't have an image here, or or maybe it's 6? It's so hard to tell. So run flux capacitor again here on 6. And we'll flush that out. You know what I should do? I don't have Notepad++ on my window here, but I am just going to open the file there, because it actually really bothers me that VS Code does not recognize the file's been edited outside of the editor and offer to reload it. That's really bothers me. It's like every other editor does that. This file's been modified outside of the shell. Do you want to reload it? All right, so let's try this as suspected image data. Up Deshaun, right, fuck. I'm getting tired of doing this, which is gonna sidetrack me if I get too tired of doing it. 45, 46, 47. Hydra, load 012. Up Deshaun. That looks better. So it's VG/VFNR, and then RVG/VFN. Okay, this is weird. So I think maybe we should start keeping track of these variations. Right? So key variations, I guess. We have one is key at I plus equals 2. Take every other. We have, I prefer dots actually. Or do I? Or is this meaningless? So this one's a little weird. So the key is this. And the rotation is, looks like it goes to here. So we'll do original, alternate. So what does this look like? It's the key forward, then it's R VG slash VFN. So then it's take the last one and move it to the front. RVG slash VFN. And then it's N RVG7. So something must have gone wrong, but I think that's what the pattern is. I think this pattern is you do the key, and then you take the first character and you put it at the front, and you do that, and then you take the last character and then put it on front, and you keep repeating that. So the key shifts like this. So you pop and push, pop and push, pop and push. So it seems to be pop. So it goes normal key, then pop, then key equals key dot push key dot pop. I think that's variation 2. I'm gonna call this Jenga. Take from the bottom and you put it on the top. All right. You know, we might be on the right track here. We might be on the right track. I'm feeling a little optimistic. Because if we can, that was it. And now we pick another user or another corp, and we go and we do this, and we see if we can find a different variation. And then we do that until we have 8 variations. And then I guess we just have to try each variation until we get a location. All right, so let's move on. Let's just move on to the next user here. Wherever that was. Okay, if we do this, it should tell us the index for... it doesn't, but Robert Marley is user 1. I think I should add that into my scraping as well so that I know for now. So again, I probably won't need it. So it's going to be continuing. We're going to do this. It's going to log G. Then it's going to log the nav key. What is it doing? G, I don't know if G is necessarily helpful. I'm going to log user index. Actually, I'll just do user I. And then it's going to be the username's index of g.username. Username's index of g.username. That should do it. T3 scrape. Should come out in all of this as 0. Yeah, so I should be able to do fuck. Do I not allow myself to do this with a different index? A.I. So I'll do A.I1. So we'll do non-continuation token true, and I'll do I1. Yes, because that found McFly. Okay. And then we'll auto this. And we'll just wait. Just gotta let it go. Ah. I have been having fun with Once Human, though. It's pretty fun. The nice thing I think that I like about it is can just drop it and do whatever you want. If you want to work on your base, you can just work on your base. If you want to fight stuff, you can do that. If you want to scavenge, you can do that. If you want to sightsee, you can do that. You don't have to like work so hard. It's funny because Fox, my moderator, booted up DayZ because I guess he got a taste for it. But it's just like, the one thing I hate about DayZ is that you can just walk for so long and then just get shot in the head. It's like, there goes 40 minutes where I accomplished nothing. Alright. There's our bonus script. So, yeah, hey. Terminate, please. Alright. So, there's a key file data. You know what? I have to get rid of these upgrades anyway, so as I look for possible JPEGs. So we'll unload Xylox 012. We will go and we'll look at I6, and that hopefully is our key. It is Y3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that matches the right length. So we'll take that. Where does that go? That goes here. Okay. I don't think there's a point having that right now. Alright, and then we've got to go, and I guess we'll just start with 0. No. That is... I think that's Alice in Wonderland again. We'll look at 1. Nope. That's a trap. We'll look at 2. 2 is large. It doesn't start with an image header, so that's a possible image. I don't see any weird obvious patterns in here. That's not true. I see this repeating, but that could be something different. So we'll try this one. So we'll do flux dot capacitor. Doc will be this. Dir will be this. We'll flush. Go over in here. Yes, I would like to reload it, please. Copy that. Paste it into here. And we'll see if that works. Can't do that because I don't have any more script slots available. I think what I'll do is I'll scrape a couple of these other ones out of here. Ooh, that's a big one. And it looks like flux capacitor did not quite decrypt it. Oh, that's big. That's a very big one. Wow. Wow. Might as well take it, I guess. I just want to take these until I find one that works, and I don't want to have to reload and reload all my upgrades over and over again. So actually we'll just call this image data 2, I guess. I've never seen that happen before. Show more. 12.6 kilobytes. That line is 12 kilobytes long. Jesus. Wow. Wow. Okay. 5 could also be. It's just all of Alice in Wonderland. It could be. I don't know how large Alice in Wonderland is in kilobytes. Could be. So this password remind underscore fake was not a trap, Flux. There's another one. Copy this. We'll do this. We'll let this be image data 3. Do 6. That's the key file. We'll do 7, 8, 9. I don't think we're going to find any more past. It doesn't seem to ever go past whatever the last number is. That seems to be a rule. It never goes negative, and it never goes past whatever the last file listed is. All right. So it's safe to go ask for my upgrades left back. Actually, only one of those was a trap script, I think. Oops. Send Zyger 45, 46, 47. User Zyger. Load 0, 1, 2. Up to Sean. We'll use the first image and see if that works. So that rotates into something that doesn't look like the key at all, because there's a slash in it. So I don't think that's it. So we will try image data 2. Man, that's big. And that looks like it is the one. RMUWY3C MUWY3. So this is the opposite of the last one. This is a reverse Jenga. So this one seems to be key equals, what do we do? Key dot shift. It'll be key dot what's the best way to do this? We can splice I don't know what the best way to do this is. This is reverse Jenga. So it's key dot shift. That takes the first one off. How do you do a concat? You have to take the key off first. You have to take the letter off first. There's a way to do this with splicing. I mean, I might as well just experiment here. So key equals key dot splice, and you can take the number that you want to splice from. So if I say 1, because that's the first, if I splice the whole thing off, inserts new elements in their place. So if I splice, I think it might be better to do like key dot slice from the first index, concat with key dot shift. It should evaluate key dot shift first, but key dot shift, key dot push, key dot pop. Oh yeah, you're right. I want to put it at the front. So it'd be key dot pop concated with key. Hold on. Yeah. I guess maybe I should try that one first. So return key dot pop. Oh, sorry. Key dot split empty dot pop dot concat. What you need is key dot unshift. Is unshift a thing? Unshift. Instead of taking off the front, you put on the front? Really? Unshift is the opposite of push. Well, it's the opposite of shift. Instead of taking off the front, you put onto the front. Unshift. So you would unshift. Hold on, I want to do this in one operation though, right? If you do key dot pop, it takes the, yeah, so I think it's key dot split. So the first thing I have to do, right, I have to treat it as an array. Key dot split dot shift dot unshift. Shit. I don't think I can do this in one operation because key is not an array, it's a string. I suppose I could just make it an array. I don't think that actually affects my rotation code either, because it's taking it by index anyway. Because it just does key at key dot I. So I don't think any of that is written, so that it has to be a string. So I split it first to turn it into an array. Then I do key dot unshift key dot pop. So let's see what that comes out as. 7. Hold on. Log key. Then we'll do key equals, and then we'll log key again. Key, and then we'll return logs. God damn it. Key dot join. Then we'll log key dot join. I.join is not a function. Returns the new length of the array. So you just do this. Key dot unshift. You don't return anything. Yep. Awesome. Thank you, Flux. Yeah. All right. So it is this. You don't have to do anything. You just do this. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Key unshift key dot pop. Okay, so the reverse would be key dot push key dot shift. Right? Key dot push key dot shift. Take from the front, put it on the end. Yeah. All right. We have 3 variations. We have 3 variations. All right, we're doing it. It's happening. It's happening. All right. So let's go find another one. Wherever my shit is. T3 scrape. And NCT true. Oh shit. I don't remember what the index was for McFly. So I'm gonna run this again. My index was 2, so I'll do NCT true, and I'll do I3. S cook. All right. We'll auto this. Hopefully we don't have to wait like 4 minutes. This is going pretty well. I don't know what happened. At the end of the day on Saturday, I was feeling so defeated. I just let him cook. Let him S cook. I just needed. Yeah, I think I needed bake time in my brain. That's all. I feel good about this. I feel good. My God. We might be close. We might be really close. So I'm imagining that each calendar entry, like each calendar string, the encrypted ones, are each their own random one of these algorithms. Or would it be the one algorithm? Once you find the algorithm, it works on all the entries. I wonder which one. Different algorithm per entry, or one algorithm for all entries? That would be much slower. Though, I guess not that much slower because you don't have to make any calls. It's all just code. So it might not make that much of a difference. Just letting it cook. God, I wish this could be made faster. There's no way to make this faster. There's nothing I can do to make it faster. The only thing that I could do would be to have this running on another account non-stop. Just doing this all the time. Just so that there's always tier 3 locations. The only problem is every location could go stale. But you'd pretty much have to be doing this non-stop. I guess I could do the pins instead, because that's the longest part of this, right? So I could just have an automation script going and finding the pins. And then if the pin doesn't work, that's because the corp has shifted. But there should always be a new pin forthcoming if I just have one automation user constantly calculating pins for every user for every tier 3 corporation. I don't know if that's worth having a separate copy of the game just for that. This is prohibitively long, though. Like, it's so slow. You really want to get to the point where you can just have a user on auto and leave it for hours to accumulate info when you're not active? I really think that, Flux, you should try to dive into the out-of-game automation for that kind of stuff, because it's way easier to be error tolerant when you have when you have an out of game process going, because anything can cause auto to fail and then it's gone, right? So like something that I've noticed is like I'll set up my automation and right off the bat there's a hiccup and it stops running. But like, so if you're using the auto trick, you set it to auto, you watch it do a few iterations, you're good, you step up, you walk out the room, and it fails. You come back 3 hours later and it had done like 2 minutes of work. So you can make all kinds of handling in your out of game automation for all the different edge cases and all the things that can fail, all the different responses that come back. You can add cooldowns, right? So you can have your out of game automation app like sleep for 5 minutes if it encounters, like a connection error, or you scraped everything and nothing has any more users in it because like they've all been consumed or whatever, right? Like you have way more flexibility. It's not that hard. It's totally worth it in my opinion. Absolutely worth it. All right, so there's my key and my pass. I want my key, but again, it doesn't matter. I've got to get rid of my upgrades anyway. Unload 012, send Xylox 012. You need to make the dive eventually? Yeah. It's not that hard. Like, what language would you use, Flux, if you had to make a standalone app? Would you use C#, or would you use like Node.js, or would you use like Rust or something? Visual Basic? I think Smorks is in Visual Basic. Okay, they're all sent, so now I can go back to doing this. So we'll check the alleged key. Okay, so that's good. So it's still key. It's 3 in a row that were all key. And then we'll see if we can find maybe a few image candidates here. You're interested in trying some stuff with Python. That's what you used to play around with the chat API? Okay. I've never used Python myself. I got really close to trying Python once and just didn't come together. But yeah, I've heard lots of good things. There's lots of people who like Python, so that'd probably be helpful. I'm wondering if there is a Python library to interact with the Windows messaging, like Windows, like the actual Windows messaging, Microsoft messaging. Because that's the one big advantage to using like a .NET language, is they've got those old libraries that you can import, the C++ libraries. Okay, so now we'll just straight flux capacitor these. Actually, I should clear first. I can't spell capacitor for some reason. That, and we'll do dir. We'll do 2. Nope. We'll do 0. Nope. We'll do 3. Nope. We'll do 4. That is not an image because it's got a bunch of crap in it. Or maybe it's already an image because it starts with 9J. I wonder if that's the hint. Right? That was the hint that these are images. Is because one of them has a plain text, what looks like a plain text JPEG header, but that's like a really specific domain knowledge. Yeah, I don't think I would have recognized that. Or maybe it would have stuck out. I don't know. Okay, that's probably an image. Flush. Take that one. We will put it in here as our image data. It's a pretty big one. We'll try 7. That is not an image, but it starts with what looks like an image. Again. 8. It's kind of on the small side. We'll take that one anyway. Yeah, so the ones that are all corrupted have /9j/. Maybe that's the trick, right? Is it's all corrupted, so the encryption broke because it corrupted out instead, and then it ends up exposing this as plain text. Maybe that's the hint. I just didn't know enough to recognize that hint. Makes me feel a little bit less angry. Honestly. Oh, we already did 8. So I was angry on Saturday because it's like, if you didn't know this, how the hell would you be expected? And it's like, it's there. Oh, I just realized 8 and 9 actually did go past the highest number. That was my previous theory, was that it never goes higher than the highest index, and that is not true. Because 8 and 9 were both there. I guess there's no hard rule about it. It doesn't seem to go like it looks like if you get like 4 in a row that don't have any, that you can stop if you need to farm them that way, but I don't think you would need to with automation. Okay, so we only have a couple, so we'll just try them one at a time, I guess. Oh yeah, I've got to go back and get my upgrades. Designer 45, 46, 47. Fluxy, I feel like we're seeing entries that are partway through the encryption decryption, because some of the single character patterns look very similar to failed decryptions. Yeah, I think that was probably the hint, is like some of them, the encryption algorithm was corrupted, so it broke and then ended up leaving part of it as plain text, I think. That's what it's probably supposed to look like. So we will up Deshaun now. So actually, Deshaun probably doesn't need to spit out the rotated text anymore, because that's just eating up. No, it's that one. I don't want this one. It's making me just scroll up over and over again. Oh, and then here I want to do key.join, even though I'm pretty sure this is the right one. Okay. KJS1BBSN. KJJS1BSSN. So this is the repeating one. So it picks a character and repeats it. So this was the 5th one. It repeats the 5th character. Then it repeats the 2nd character. Then it repeats the 6th character. And then we don't have enough to necessarily extrapolate on what it's doing. Is the pattern 5, 2, 6, 3, 7, 4? 5, 2, 6, 3, 7, 4. 5, 2, 6, 3, 7, 4. Or do you think 1 gets thrown in there? I feel the front of my prefix is not... Actually, hold on. Hold on a second here. Did the ones that started with... I'm just looking through my shell right now. Did the ones that start with 9/9j/, those corrupted ones, do they start with the same characters? Oh shit, they do. That can't be right. No, those are two of the same files. right? I think I cleared my stuff. So 4 started with this. I think that might be the string that I'm supposed to be using. What do I have? It's pretty close, but it's not quite exactly the same. So that was from index 4. This is from index 7. Ah, so it's not quite the same. So there's something about the prefix here. I'm wondering if my prefix calculation, the prefix that I found is not quite the one that needs to be used. So I might get a better answer. Yeah, look at that. That's perfect. Now there's no corruption in here. That's it. The plain text that you use, the plain text JPEG prefix is there. It's there. It's in every single failed corruption entry. God, it's right there. It's so crazy. It's so obvious once you know what you're looking for. God damn. Look at everything. Look at everything. I never noticed that some of these entries started with the exact same string. Shit. All right. Well, it gives us enough to look for here. So we have KJS1BB SN, KJJ S1BSN, SSN. Wait a minute. BBSN, KJJS1BSSN, KJSS1BSNN. What is it doing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repeated. 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 So this is every other fifth repeated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repeated. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repeated. So it looks like you go through the key, and then when you hit an index that's a mod of 5, you do a -1 on the index, so your next loop starts at that one again and then goes until you hit an index that is a multiple of 5, and then you go I-1 again, and then you pick up again. I think that's how it like repeats every 5. Okay, so this is variation 4. So we have key at I plus plus. We have, hold on. You just repeat that. You just repeat it. So we would have key at I equals, if I mod 5 is equal to 0, then you do key at I. You keep it the same. Otherwise, you do key at I plus plus. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, it would be I mod 4. Right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just stop. So instead of like, it's not necessarily that you're doubling every 5. you pause advancing through the key on every fourth index. You stop for a loop, and then you go again, and you stop, and you go again. I think that's a better description rather than doubling every 5. Thinking about it in iterators, that is. So I think you do that. The new key is if the total loop count is a multiple of 4, the next index is the same. You don't change it. Otherwise, you advance it by 1. That's what you do. Okay, that's 4 patterns. We're halfway done. We are halfway done. All right. So that was I. What was that user I? Fuck, I don't remember. Let's go all the way back to scraping here. 3. I think it was 4, actually. So the user I is 4. So we do NCT true, and we do I at 5. Yep, found another one. Mark Garv. So we'll auto this one too. 4 down, 4 to go. Honestly, I feel like the fact that we did 4 in a row and found 4 patterns in a row is pretty lucky too. Because I would expect that some of these, unless it's intentionally set up like that, like each user has their own unique algorithm implemented in the private script to make it easier to derive them, I feel like it might be really lucky. We'll know, I guess, once we get all 8. But this is pretty much it. So now here's the question, right? Here's the question. Do I put this stream on YouTube? And just give it all away? Forever. It's not searchable. Because I'm not going to title the video Deshawn encryption algorithms. Do I leave it there in YouTube as a little secret for the 5 subscribers, 5 YouTube subscribers that I have? Do I keep it a secret? Unload 012, send Zylox 012. I of 19 for the key. Got corrupted that time. There it is. Okay, there's the key. Now we are going to start checking these other ones. So we'll start with 0. Might as well flux capacitor all of them. Oh, it's better to do it this way. Start with 0. That was weird. That kind of just blinked into existence. That's a big one, and it looks like an image. So we're just going to flush that one. That looks like a big one, too. 10K. Alright, 1. Nope. 2. Not big enough. 3. Not 4. Not big enough, I don't think. 5. 6. 7. Nope, that's a corrupted one. Nope. 10. It's probably too small. 11. Probably too small. 12. 13. This one has a lot. That might be one. This one is not. This one's having trouble decorrupting. This one's small enough also that I can just. Fuck it. Flush. If I flush it, it comes out as one line, and I don't have to put it back together myself. Uh, 14. 15. 16. Looks like another Alice in Wonderland. 17. These are all too small. 18 is probably big enough, and that's 3 options, I think. This one. Put it here. That's interesting. They're all starting with the similar characters. Not quite the same, but similar. Flux, you missed a stream, so you don't even know what all this image data stuff is about? Oh. Well, do you want me to tell you? Because, like, you've been helping me through this stuff. I feel like you deserve to know. You could also go back and watch on Twitch or YouTube. But, yeah, if you want to know, I can tell you. I can tell you what I'm doing. That must be so boring, Flux. You're just watching me just do stuff and you have no idea why I'm doing this. You should have said something. Yeah, I don't mind explaining. I gotta go get my upgrades back, though. Okay. Should be able to up Deshaun now. Let's see if Deshaun's gonna work. Nope, not with that one. Okay, so we'll try this one. It's not boring. You've been learning new stuff. Yeah, but you're gonna miss the point of why I'm doing this, or what I'm doing, or how I'm figuring this out. I don't mind telling you. Hopefully one of these works. Huh. So none of those worked. So it's possible that none of those were actually images. So maybe I have to keep looking. Or maybe this is. Oh man, if one of them does a character shift though and not just a letter scramble, that could really screw this up. It's detective work, but let's just pretend it's not. Send these away to safety again. And go back to flux capacitor at 20. That's not 1. 21. No. This is disappointing. So possibly one of those smaller files Possibly one of those smaller files is the image. They were too small though. Maybe this one doesn't have it. So there's two options here. This user doesn't have an image, so there's no hint. Or the key algorithm is actually some kind of ASCII shift on the original key. So, okay, so you don't mind if I want to explain in brief? You can go back and watch to get the full picture. So yeah, so we've got an ad coming up. So what I'll do is I'll take a break here for a couple minutes, and then when I come back, I'll just give you like a very high level thing of what I'm doing. It's a hint and it's a spoiler. So if you don't mind having kind of a spoiler hint, then yeah, I have no problem giving that. And then yeah, and then I'm gonna see what's going on with this user because there's something's not quite matching the previous patterns here, and I have to figure out if this is my bad or if this is expected or whatever. Okay, so I will be back very shortly. All right, I am back. Thank you so much for waiting. Okay, so Flux. And for anyone who may be watching, either lurking or watching this video later, this is a spoiler, a little bit of a spoiler hint. And I did get put on this line of thinking from, I think it was Hacktix and Bowkill both put me onto this line of thinking on Saturday. So we got confirmation that base 64 decoding is required. So we know that likely the final step of this is to decode whatever we decrypt. We do a base 64 decode to get the final answer, hopefully. So because we know that base 64 is involved somehow, and it also appears in some of the other secret script files, you can see the user's key, but it's scrambled. It like shows up repeatedly, but scrambled. Those are the, wait a minute, those are the patterns. They're right there. Are the patterns in plain text? Hold on. Okay, so you can see though occasionally in some of these files that the patterns are repeated. Actually, let's just like go see if we can find one like while we're looking for stuff here. So this one, I don't remember what the key was. AMW. AMW? I don't see AMW in here. Where is AMW? Anyway, so somehow Palpatine returned. Somehow we found out that is it in here? That the key, all that matches your understanding so far? Okay, so we noticed kind of patterns that we saw the key showing up, but like kind of slightly altered and repeated. And Smork gave the hint that there appears to, you never use the straight key. You always have to do something to the key first, and then you use that modified key to do encryption. Hey, Jorstar, how's it going? In this one, it seems like only the first letter was used with the ah. Yeah. Ah. So this actually is something else, Jorstar. This was another hint that we missed due to our lack of knowledge. Or at least I missed because of my lack of knowledge. So we'll back up a second here though. So we know that something has to be done to the key. So the first step is you take the key and you modify the key somehow. Exactly, yeah. So you thought that because you saw the key, but never exactly the same. So that was another hint. You do something to the key. So I think it was Bowkill said there is plain text in the secret script somewhere. And that's part of one of the techniques for doing a decryption, is if you have known plain text. And one of the known plain texts is when you have a JPEG that is turned into base 64, there is a prefix. There's always a prefix that says image/JPEG or whatever, or content/image JPEG. I don't know what exactly it is, but there's always the same prefix no matter what. And that prefix is this. So what you can do is, because you know what it's supposed to decrypt into, you can do basically a reverse Vignere on this. So you want this to show up in the encrypted text when you decrypt it. So you take one of the secret sample files that actually encrypted properly, and you start doing a reverse Vignere using this prefix string until you get the key. But what you end up getting is the altered key pattern. And so once you have that, which is what my script is currently doing, then you can kind of look and see what is the algorithm that's being applied to the key. I realize that my VS Code is closed, but we weren't using that right now. Anyway, so that's what we're doing right now. And I went and used, so Jorstar, this is I think where you left off. I went on to like that website and was uploading JPEGs on my own to see the prefix, but the prefixes were always slightly different. And it turns out that the prefix was in here the whole time, the one that we're supposed to use. Every single one of these files that looks like this with like and a bunch of slashes. Flux and I, our theory is that this is an example of the encryption process has corrupted. And so what you end up with is a corrupted but unencrypted base 64 image. So this ends with padded characters. There's no other padded characters in here because this, had it not been corrupted with these slashes and A's or B's or whatever. You have seen the full script though. Full script. Which full script are you talking about there, Jorstar? You've seen the full solution script, you mean? The one everyone found on GitHub? Yeah, okay. But I mean, like, this is how I am naturally arriving to that conclusion. Well, naturally, right? I've been giving a lot of hints, but this is the one that, this is how, if I had career experience, right, with encoding JPEGs or images in general in base 64, this would have leapt out right at me and hit me in the face for sure. I would have seen that and been like, that's JPEG, what the hell? But because I don't really use images or any of that stuff, it just kind of floated past as noise. And I think if I had been more patient and more carefully analyzed these file results, I may have noticed this as a pattern. But I was starting to lose my patience too much at the end of Saturday, so I was just too frustrated. By the time I came in today, it was like, boom, it's right there. Look at that. Flux, not too big of a leap. You don't think you would have figured it out even if you noticed the JPEG prefix? You'd have no idea what it was? I mean, I would give yourself some more credit than that though, Flux, because if you had recognized this, I think that you would have realized what it was eventually, because you probably could have like Googled this and maybe gotten something. And certainly, you know, as Bokill was saying at the end of Saturday, none of these challenges were meant to be done solo, right? They were designed to be kind of a community effort and people would cooperate and things too. So, and that's what we've been doing. So, you know, this was something I ended my stream on Saturday with saying, I don't have to do everything all by myself. It's okay to get help from other people. It doesn't spoil it. Jorstar, basically what that one does, so this is the one on GitHub, is find all the patterns and then brute forces the patterns. Yeah, and I think that we're going to have to do that once we derive the rest of the patterns. That was a question that I had earlier. I was wondering is it always, so for a given user, is it one algorithm for all their calendar entries, or does each calendar entry use a different version of the algorithm? Basically, they have a dictionary of patterns and they brute force the patterns. Yeah. So I think it depends on whether or not, if each calendar entry for a particular user is a different algorithm or pattern, then you have to brute force it, I think. Don't know? Yeah. We don't know yet either. So we've got 4 of the, I guess, 8 patterns. Smork was saying there was 8. It looked like there were 8. So my biggest problem right now, though, is that this one didn't appear to have an image, or the key algorithm is actually more than just ordering. It actually might be ASCII shifting. You've seen some of the scripts saying he likes to brute things even when it's not needed. Is this Notaricon? I think it was Notaricon's script, right? Or did somebody find a different one? No? I think the one that Triliter sent me on Discord was Notaricon's. This looks too small to be an image, but I'm going to take it anyway because we are out. We are out of images. Or out of potential images. So the one you found, Jorstar, was the one from player Qubit XX. All right. I've never heard of that person before. I don't know if they're active or not. All right, keep going here with 11. So I mean, this one looks too small, but it might not be, so we'll take it 2. Okay, so let's try with those 2. Oh, right, I have to go get my upgrades. 46, 47. And load 0, 1, 2. Flux, so do we think the pattern derived from the plaintext key is going to be the full key? Or are there multiple separate variations of the key and we only need one of it? So the pattern derived from the plaintext key. So we have not the plaintext key, right? What we have is the plaintext prefix. So it's the string that that ends up being encrypted. So we know what it looked like, what that prefix looked like originally. So when we're looking at this here, we know what this looked like, right? This looked like /9j/ and all those letters. So you can just shift them back into /9j/, and what you'll end up with is just letters. Has nothing to do with the key. But if they look like the key, then that's our signal right now that it's like, all right, we found it. We found the image, and then we've just been looking at what's the difference between the key and the key file and the one that we derived from the plaintext decryption, right? We brute forced that decryption ourselves. And then we're just doing the figuring out what the algorithm is, like skip one, like skip every other one, or doing the pop and unshift or whatever. And I don't know if we need, it appears to be one variation per file that we're finding here. Like there's one variation per user, but we're not sure yet how that applies to the calendar entries. Jorstar, you have a feeling for one user, you only need one pattern. There's a plain text entry, so you wouldn't need to brute force everything. It's not clear to me. So one thing that Bokill said on Saturday when I was trying to figure out how the hell I was supposed to progress from here, I think what Bokill said was the algorithm doesn't necessarily apply to the documents in their secret script. So I don't know if you can actually test the direction that way. So you can't like say, oh, I found the algorithm. Now I'll apply this to the test image and get an image. I think Bokill said it doesn't necessarily work like that all the time. I haven't tested it myself, but I did take one of them and tried turning it into an image, and it came out as like an application octet. So I don't think that's necessarily true either. So I don't know. I think someone that's already implemented this would have to be able to answer that for sure one way or the other. All right, so let's do Deshaun again here. Nope, that's not it either. This is not looking as straightforward. And that's not it. Huh. This one actually has an undefined in it. I'm not sure how it got an undefined with rotating. That's weird. We didn't change our rotation. So let's go back to the first one here and take a closer look and see if this is actually some kind of variation on the key. NBR RRMSS. Are we sure this is the key for this user? What am I doing? I just want to make sure that we didn't screw this up. And by we, I of course mean me. Just start pouring rain again. This is the third thunderstorm we've had today. This is insane. Oh, I need the pin. Fuck's sakes. Star, do I by any chance know if JPEG is the only image entry? I think it is, because JPEG is the only one that's going to be /9j/ and the other stuff. And that so far has been the only plain text that I've seen across 4 users now. Is that rain? I'm going to check. I'm just going to check something here. I'm going to make sure I don't have a tornado warning. I hate tornadoes. I hate them. I've been afraid of them since I was like... Oh, it's not a storm. It's just some idiot revving his car outside. Or something. No, it's a storm. Never mind. Okay, anyway. So yeah, sorry, I think that they are only JPEGs. Given what I've seen across multiple users now. And especially because some users, they'll have 2 secret scripts that are both like failed encryptions, and they both start with the exact same prefix. You have a fire station right in your backyard. You know when there's a tornado warning. Ugh. I hate that it's like Tornado Alley has moved up into where I live now. I hate it so much. I think it's just rain. I think it's just rain that I'm hearing though. Sorry, I have to check. And I have to know this for sure because it's like one of the things that I obsess about. Oh yeah, it's just pouring rain. That's fine. I'm okay with pouring rain. It's actually coming straight down, so it's probably all right. But yeah, it's the third. This is the third thunderstorm we've had today. It's been thunderstorm and then clear skies and thunderstorm and then clear skies, and now it's thunderstorm again. It's giving me fucking huge migraine. You live close enough to Lake Erie that you do have enough tornado warnings? Yeah. Ugh, I'm on the other side of Erie from you, it sounds like. All right, so let's look. What was the key here? That is the key. So this is unfortunate because it looks like none of these are working for the key algorithm, for deriving the key algorithm. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Up Deshaun. And it's weird that they're all actually giving me a totally different key. If you run flux capacitor with no args, there's a macro you can copy. Let's put cap in front of the script to decorrupt it. Zang, thank you. All right. So this is actually really bugging me because these files that we got here, these image files, they are all giving us a very similar a very similar looking derived key algorithm, but with a totally, what looks to be like a totally different key from what was in the file. So did something go wrong? Maybe not all the users have the requisite data to find an algorithm. Or maybe this is one of the algorithms and it's fucking weird looking. So I'm remiss. I'm remiss isn't the right word. I'm hesitant. I am hesitant to dismiss this. I suppose we could just skip this one. And if we only have 7, we will find this one again. So what am I doing with the key so far? So the algorithms that I found so far, is that what you mean? So we have this is the repeat every 5th. This is what Smart called repeat every 5th. So we have take every other. So this is what we do with the key index as we're cycling through the key and doing our veneer shifting. So we have a variation that's take every other one, right? Then we have one where it's like Jenga. So you take from the end and you put it on the front. And then we have a reverse Jenga where you do the opposite. You take from the front and you put it on the end. And then we have this one, which is what Smart called as repeat every 5th. So it's more like you only advance the key index. You pause the advancement of the key index when your loop iterator is divisible by 4. So you go like +1, +1, +1, and then you stop for one loop iteration and repeat that character in the key, and then you keep going. So those are the 4 that we have so far. We haven't actually done anything like to try to decrypt calendar entries yet. We've just been doing this so far, trying to derive the algorithm. So I think I'm just going to move on from this. Maybe I'll copy these 2. Is this a weird algorithm? Okay. And then we'll move on. All right, so I got to go all the way back to T3 scrape here, which was probably a while ago, and find out what the user index was. 5. So we're going to do non-continuation token true, and we're going to do I at 6. Get the next user. 4 out of 8 that you've seen. Yeah, so that's what we're hoping the limit is that, yeah, what you and Smork and others have seen is that there appear to be 8. So hopefully we're halfway there. All right. Have I tried with less than all the characters? Less than all the characters of the key? Like on the deriving stuff? Because so we're not testing the algorithms themselves yet. I'm currently, all I'm doing is taking the known plaintext prefix for the JPEG and like reversing the encrypted data and looking for a result that resembles the key. So So I'm not actually like doing anything with the key as of yet. Like currently I'm not doing anything with the key itself other than just like comparing by eye. So that last one, that's why that last one I'm hesitant to just totally throw it away, because it's possible one of the algorithms could involve ASCII shifting the key and not just index shifting or like shuffling it or whatever it's doing with array operations, because like there's only so many array operations that you can do, right? So I'm not sure if there's like 8 different combinations of array operations. So ASCII shifting the key is, in my mind, a possibility as well. But I just don't even know what that would be. Like, maybe there's something that NBRMS112 NBRMSL2 NBRMSL L2 NBRMSS L2 NBRM. So it looks like a pattern. Whoops. Oh, what the hell happened here? I wonder if the corp shifted. No. Something changed with the scraping script. So we're going to try doing this. I found this occasionally the output has shifted. Like the output doesn't quite resemble what I am expecting in my code, and it did something weird. But this looks pretty straightforward. So I'm not exactly sure what's happening here. So if I do work calendar and I do D40, date 40. So D40 works. This is interesting. So there's some kind of weird bug in here. Did I reload my upgrades? I did. We'll have to look at this in a sec. Fuck, so it's already repeat every 5th. So either it's a different key or it was modified in 2 ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, it's not every 5th, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 repeats, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 repeats, and then... So it's actually repeating from the end forward, it looks like. So not quite every 5th. It repeats the last one, then repeats the second last one, then it repeats the third last one. So it does look like a different type of algorithm. But yeah, it also looks like there might be something else going on there. So appears to be repeat last index, then repeat second last index, etc. But also maybe a char shift of some kind. Oh, Joestar, you're just got the thing open on your screen and you're just comparing. Okay. Well, I mean, well, hold on. I have a bug in my tier 3 scraping here. So I need to fix this first before I do anything else. So why did this happen? So let me try resetting. Should be able to reset this with my feeder values here. Okay. So I have something that predictably fails, and now I have to find out why my map is failing. What map would this be? It's actually it's probably this one. Maybe I'll just log response. Fix your bugs. I probably have a typo somewhere. I might. It's been a while since I've had a stupid typo. This one's empty. So I didn't account for an entirely empty calendar. So response.match. So not a stupid typo, unfortunately. Response.match can be empty. So I think we have to test that. Actually, I think what we can do is if response.empty is actually, let me do this first because I think that I think I set the max page size too low when I was doing something else because we didn't really see anything less than 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6WQ should be the first one if we start at minus 20, right? And go plus 50. Let's try that. I mean, that fixed the breakage. But no, we actually did lose a page at the beginning. So minus 30 is the right starting point. So I think we leave this loop iteration here. And what we'll do is we'll have to do let result equal response.match. And we'll have to do if result if not result, I guess, right? Then we can set cal page equal to 50. So that should terminate the loop from starting again, and we can just break. I don't need a semicolon. Otherwise, we will do result.map.forEach. That should fix it, I think. Yep. Okay. All right, so let's go check this secret script. Gotta unload 012. Gotta send them Xylox 012. Then we can do cap for capacitor, that script, and then this, right? Pin and I0. Yeah, all right. It's fancy. I just have to put a space between them. I like that. Thanks, Flux. Okay, so we'll flush this. We will put it over here in Deshaun. Why do I have word wrap here all of a sudden? I don't want that at all. Go to 1. There's no 1. No 2. 3 was a trap. There's 4 that also looks okay for an image potentially, so we'll flush that. Go and grab it from here. Whoops. These are all starting with very similar looking characters too, which is a little suspicious. That's got to be way too short for an image. That's probably okay. Okay, so we'll try with these 3. And let me go get the key now. Wonder if I can do slash flush equals flush, so if I accidentally slash flush, it still works. Because flush isn't really a command, right? That's interesting. Tries to find it as a script. I guess because the CLI must intercept some of those commands before cast them as a script. Because I found something else. You can't create a macro that starts with the word auto. Like you can't do slash automatic or slash auto call, because the CLI interprets it and just grabs slash auto and tries to run slash auto. So some funny isms there. Whoops, I meant to do this. There. Okay, let's look at the, I think it's the key file, right? 13. Okay, there's the key. It's a weird looking key. Copy that over here. Okay. Oh no, I've got to go get my upgrades back. Zyger 45, 46, 47. Zyger load 0, 1, 2. Up Deshaun. Deshaun. Looks like a pattern to me. Probably just bad coding. It might be. It's meant to be a feature, so if you're on a user, you can just type the last half of a script and it'll work the same as if you typed user.script. What? How does that work? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm following you, Flux. How that would be used. Okay, so potentially there's another character shift one here. So, oh, maybe not. What does this mean? Oh. What does this mean? The first two are false positives? Oh. You're describing exactly what I'm doing. Oh, by running Deshaun. Gotcha. It's a feature. Yeah, Yeah, but I don't think like if I wanted to make a macro, for example, called like auto call equals 1 2 3, I can't do that. Because it just looks at auto and it forgets the fact that there's another rest of the word that I typed there for the slash. So you can't actually start any macros with the word auto. That's what I was complaining about. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I think the flush thing and the CLI intercepting stuff as scripts is maybe something special so that you can run local scripts without having to type your user prefix. Yeah. So, Jorstar, you think this is just another pattern? QEJJI++ GPP. QEJJI++ GPP QEEJII plus GGPQQ. So it's doubling every other one except for the first one. So this is actually interesting. This is imod 2 equals 0, then double. Think is a broad word. It's true. So it has to be imod 2 actually, because if 0 mod 2 is not 0, right? It's actually not a number. So it is I mod 2. So it's very similar. Very similar. This is like I mod 2 equals 0. Then we stop. Key at I. So this is actually very close to this one. Let's repeat every second. It's literally this one. Repeat every second. If I is not equal to 0, and I think that's what we have to do. If I is greater than 0, to protect against not a numbers. Don't want any divide by zeros. You like how it's commented in the code on Qubit script? Exactly the wording. I took the exact same wording from Qubit. Repeat every fifth, then repeat every second. Yep. Makes sense. Did he use Jenga? Jenga and reverse Jenga? He or she. I guess we don't know who Qubit is. They. So, okay. So this one is potentially a pattern, but we did see something weird happening here where it looked like it was a pattern, but it ended up not being a pattern. So it's also possible that this one is not actually a pattern. I guess we'll find out if we get to 7 and we run out of ideas. Okay. Back to tier 3 scraping. Let's see what index I we left off with. 6, so this one's going to be no continuation token true, and the I is going to be 7. Young Les Paul. We're getting a lot better at this, I think. feel really unstuck. I feel really good about this. Doing pretty good. We are running out of time. So we're not going to get the rest of the patterns tonight. But we've got 5. 5 out of 8. That's awesome. Considering I ended Saturday feeling like I didn't want to play hackmud ever again. and now it's like we've got 5 out of, we've figured out there are patterns. We figured out how to find the patterns, and we figured out 5 out of the 8 patterns. Maybe we've seen the 6th pattern, just haven't deciphered it yet. That's pretty damn good. I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy about that. And I have to thank Hactics and Bowkill especially for the plain text, both the plain text hint and also the encouragement, and also Smork, because Smork was encouraging me a lot too. And I think Smork also told me on Discord, he was like, if you feel like you need a break from hackmud, Alex, you should take a break. Like, don't burn yourself out on it. And I was prepared to do that, as you saw in the stream title. I was very prepared to just give up. So I appreciate that too, Smart, the encouragement to just take a break. Don't break your head open with it. That's what you're doing right now, George Star, taking a break. Yeah, it's not bad every once in a while, right? I don't play. I actually, most of the time, I don't play hackmud off stream. Especially not when I'm really stuck on this, because it's one thing if I'm like, oh, I've got some feature I want to add to my util script or something. I can do all that off stream, or if I have a really annoying bug that I need to track down, I'll do that off stream because it's not always entertaining. But when we're doing this really problem solving, trying to find something new, I like to save that for stream, because I think it would suck. I think it would suck for me to come back and be like, hey, welcome back, everybody. I solved tier 3. And none of you are going to see how. Right? You need to buy Writer now? Oh, you're getting your Linux stuff set up instead right now? And you need to buy Writer so you can continue on your C#. So you've decided to pull the trigger on that with your Photoshop, your free Photoshop money. Oh man, some of these pins are so high. The one thing I wish I could figure out about this is how to do pins more efficiently, but I really can't think of another way. Just having automation running or something that just is just doing this, but it'd just be doing this. It's not necessarily better, it's just hiding it somewhere. But it's imagine finding a user. I had one of the users, I think the first one that we started with on stream had 8,000 as their pin. That sucked. And you always go well, if you take something random, but it never works. Because sometimes it takes even longer because you just randomly miss the right pin over and over again. You just have to climb. I could have 2 users going. They meet in the middle, but I would have to use automation to do that too. Or I would need 100 bots. Literally 100 bots running this on a bot brain. On the fastest bot brain. For it to make sense. Because I could do all this scraping and then just cache the pins in my database. It's gonna have to be this for now. Oh, pardon me. I don't know if anyone actually has tier 3 automated. Qubit seems to do with random. Yeah, random is hoping that you're lucky. That's the only problem. And if you're unlucky, it'll take way longer. Zoe has it automated. And Marto. Yeah, so they have enough bots that they can automate this stuff. Like if I told 100, so there's 10,000 pins. I can do 100 pins at a time. So I need 100 bots to do one run each and get a pin. So if I had 100 bots, I could tell them all, go try pins 0 through 100, and then 101 through 200, and so on. Marto and Zoe are in the same corp. Yeah, so they're probably using each other's... I imagine they're cooperating. They have their scripts cooperating. See, this is another one, the pins going up into the 8,000. Yeah, I wouldn't do random. I fought with this with doing the easy 40 primes. Because the problem is, if you get really unlucky on the randoms, and the first prime is 2, and you just hit every number and then hit 2 last, that took way longer than it needed to. They have separate infrastructures. That's funny. I wonder if they're in the same corp, why they don't use the same infrastructure. Okay. This will probably be the last user that we go and look at. Wow, there's not a lot of files there. Gotta go send my upgrades away to safety. That is probably... That is probably a image. Almost did slash flush again. Actually, I should clear this out. It's getting a little crowded in my shell.txt file. Okay, so we'll copy that and we'll put that in here. Image data 2, image data 3. Let's put that there. 5. So Zoe used to use Wretch from Marto as it's whitelisted through the corp. But he has his own tier 3 cracker now. You can't really automate tier 3 farming until you also do tier 2 farming because of the keys. Oh, rec. Yeah, you need the keys, right? You need the tier 2 keys for all the lockjaws. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, yeah, it's mostly the scraping that's rough. But if you have someone else, matrix.rec, the script that steals your stuff, it's a whitelisted cracking script. So if you use it without being whitelisted, it just takes all your upgrades, I'm imagining. I haven't heard of it, but that makes sense. Yeah, but the scraping is way easier if you've got a giant bot network that could do it. Like with 200 bots, like Marto's got 200 bots, right? It's in channel 0. I haven't been in channel 0 in weeks. That's the first thing I do when a new user is leave channel 0. It's too noisy. But yeah, if you had like 200 bots, you could easily scrape one user pin instantly. Say, hey, go scrape this corporation, please, and they'll all go and just bing. They'll all make one run, and one of them will find the pin immediately, like no problem. What was I doing? Right, that was the key. I just flushed. Yes, I want to reload the file, and we'll take this, put it here. 7. It's probably too short for an image. Probably too short. That could be an image. Okay, we'll start with those 3 and see if any of those reveal pattern. Okay, go get my upgrades back. I really gotta make a script that does this vaulting and unvaulting upgrades. I am so tired of doing this. You love Channel Zero Flex? I just find it's like, especially when I'm switching between users, like the first time you switch to a user, it like sits there for like 2 minutes buffering all the Channel Zero chats that you missed, and then just goes like, whoom, and just like sends a whole ton of them. If you just hang out in game and just watch Channel Zero tick by, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Leave it on all accounts but your main. Well, even on my bot users, right? Because like if I go through for automation, which I haven't run in a while, it'll really slow down the user switching. Zoaz is scraping on his main account with bot brains, and when his cracker users are inactive, they do scraping. That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. All that super high level automation. So that doesn't look like it. So let's try this one. That doesn't look like it's got an undefined in it. I don't even know how you get an undefined in here. How do I get an how do I end up with undefined using reverse Vignere? I should never end up with undefined. That means that B64 chars at diff was undefined. $64. Do I have an edge case scenario that I've missed? Oh my god, can you, how did I correctly do this? What? Maybe that's what happened on my last one, is I have a fucking bug in my reverse Vignere. 108 is broken. Yeah, because like if you do this minus this and you get minus 64, you add, so hold on, I don't know how this would happen. If you get 0, you get minus 1. I don't know how the hell this worked. What is, I need to look at this. I need to look at both of these. Log this one. And then log this one. Do 16 minus 17. So you get minus 1. You add the length plus 1 to it, which is 65. You end up with 64. The syntax highlighting on 108 is broken. Oh, here. That's because the... yeah, I think you can see that tooltip, right? Yeah, VS Code skips tokenization on long lines. That's why. For whatever reason, just does. performance reasons, I guess. Okay, so if I end up with 64, so if I do the math and I end up with 61, if I end up with -1, I do plus equals. This could equal 64 as well. Why does this math not work on this edge case scenario? I'm really confused here. If the difference is less than 0, what is my Vignere shifting doing? Oh, it's because it's doing the opposite direction. I think this is just a bug. Is it supposed to be just plus equals B50 chars.length? How did it work for all the other scenarios? Do I have to do it twice? I go if diff equals 64, then diff equals 0. It's just because I'm going in reverse order that my math is funkier. Huh, that's weird. Okay. All right, anyway. That's not it either, is the point of that. That one is not correct either. So, I don't think we have the right image here. Or this is potentially our number 6, which is the weird one that we saw here. Not this one. This one. I can get rid of all this swearing because I figured it out. I have one more snooze and then we're out of time. Let's go and keep looking at these. Trying to find a good image sample here. Might as well just delete these because they're no good and start over again. Nope, 13. I mean, is it possible that we're supposed to use these really small ones too? I just don't feel like that is the case, but I suppose I could use... I suppose I could try. Like, why not, right? So we'll take the one that was from 1F5DAE. And the one that was from 33.1 and then the corrupted character. So we'll take those two. Flux, I mentioned once there's a trick to QRD interlacing. You did some work on your decoder. You think you have everything up to that point. Maybe. Yeah, I don't think we have enough time to get into that, Flux. But if you want, you can send me a DM on Discord, or you could join our Discord, and send me a message there. But if you want if you want any tips on specifically what part you're at, I have no problem. I probably get back to you tomorrow. in earlier in the day, and then I can give you maybe some tips on that. But it's not as bad. It's not as bad as it seems once you kind of figure out what you have to do. You do have to store a table in your code for this, or your database. So actually, and if you want to, Flux, if you want like me to go through that part of the QR decoding, I can always do that at the start of the next stream on Thursday, because it might be a little easier to just demonstrate like using my code and how things worked out. Okay, I think we've just got a couple minutes here, so I want to go back to try these last 3 things here. There we go. 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 10. This we've already seen this one. That sucks. Okay, but that was one of the short ones. So, posture check. My posture. What's wrong with my posture? My neck hurts like crazy. You should be around on Thursday? Awesome. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, so this is important. So this means we need to check the secret script files that look too small to be a JPEG, because they're not too small to do the key derivation, the reverse algorithm detection anyway. Okay. All right. So I think that's where we'll leave off then for tonight's stream. So pretty good progress. We're just over halfway. Where did that go? We're just over halfway on our key algorithms, so there's probably only 3 remaining. And I think it's just got to put in the work. So this is something I might do off stream if I have time, is try to find those other 3, because it's a lot of kind of just like grueling work. But otherwise, pretty good progress. I feel a lot better today than I did on Saturday. Oh my God. Saturday left me very demoralized, I guess is the word. Okay, well, thanks, Flux, for coming in and just brainstorming with me tonight, and thanks, Georgestar, for coming in and hanging out too. Pretty good progress. You wonder if the reverse works if there's less than the full key used? It should, right? Because we just have the encrypted and then what it should look like once it's decrypted. So the key doesn't have anything to do with it. Like, code-wise, these 2 values are unrelated. I print out the key that we got from the file just so that I know with my eyes a potential pattern I'm looking for. So technically the reverse should find if it's partial. Like if it was just going R1A, R1A, R1A over and over again, I would go, oh shit, it's only using the first 3, right? Or if it was like R1A, 1R, 1A, or something like that, right? It should stand out. So we'll see. I think we were skipping over, because of this, I think we were skipping over some potential hint of files, just because I was going, that's too short to be a JPEG, but it was probably too short to be a real JPEG, which is what Bokill, I think, was warning me about. But they're not too short to be used as the reverse, like as part of the stage for reversing the algorithm. Okay, anyway, thanks everyone for coming by and hanging out and helping me along, and I hope you had fun and learned something, and yeah, just hope that you have a great day and a great rest of your week, and Oh, well, you're very welcome for the stream. Thank you for coming and participating. So I hope to see you on Thursday. And yeah, Flux, if you drop by on Thursday, we can look at the QR stuff a little bit on the deinterleaving if you're stuck on that. Okay, have a great night. If you're watching me on Twitch on an older stream, or if you're watching this on YouTube later, I would appreciate a follow. Otherwise, I hope to see you all again soon. Be very good to each other and yourselves, and have yourselves a wonderful day or night or whatever it is. Okay, take care. See you soon.